Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so we're still looking for the potential of this being a bigger W and X and a Y pattern here. Now, within this Y wave, there's a couple of ways we can look at this. We could argue that we have a high in place over here, and we're actually looking to form this as an A, B, and a C. Or alternatively, what we could get is this whole move here could become an A, we get a B, and then a C wave to the downside. So I haven't ruled that out either. We're going to discuss those two options, as well as the possibility that we could have this X wave still in play, and we could actually still look for an additional push to the upside. So this would be our shorter term bullish option. And what we'd be looking for then would be actually developing a 5-wave move to the upside and looking to target out this zone of this 29,861 to this 28,387. So we're going to go over the idea of this X being over here first and the possibility of this Y wave to the downside. Now, in the previous videos, we were talking about this possibility of an A, B, and a C. And like I was saying, at the moment, we don't have good structure within this. And what I was looking for is this move to actually develop into a 5-wave structure. Now, it is possible we could still get some extensions here. And what we're looking for as a possible target area with this would actually be this 24,296. Now, if we're going to look at this move in this way, where we're treating this as a C wave, the only way we can really do this currently is either saying that we have some extension going on in here, where this becomes 1-2-1-2, and then we're going to see a bigger breakdown, which we'll go over later in the video. Or alternatively, what we could have is something along the lines of a diagonal pattern here. So now, looking at this as a diagonal, what we would be looking for is the fact that we have a 3-wave move here for 1, 3-wave move for 2, 3-wave move for 3, looking for a 3-wave move for 4, and a 3-wave move for 5. In the previous video, we're looking for that possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking for this 5th wave. However, now we've come up too high. We've actually crossed this wave 1, which would be this 25,712, but we can still look to break down. Now, the reason that I don't like this would be that it does look like this is a 5-wave move. Invalidation of this would be if this wave 4 actually crosses this 25,898. Now, if we do see this happen, where we see a push up here crossing this would invalidate this idea. However, until we do, if we see a shorter 5-wave move up, which actually doesn't manage to cross this line, what we could see is price actually do something like this, like we get its retracement back down, see another 5-wave move, and then we could actually form this as ABC, looking for this to be our wave 4. Still not looking to cross this 1-to-1 of this wave 2. Now, if we did see something like this, what we could then see is the possibility of another 3-wave move to the downside, looking to target out this 24,262, and this would not be allowed to cross this line. Now, what we would be looking for then would be a 3-wave move that would probably come back into this trend line here, and then what we could see is even a small break, depending on how long this takes to play out. We could argue that within here, we could just have this as ABC. We'll have to actually see whether we maintain this low. So the key difference is here, if we just see price do this, and then we actually break down below this low point here, then we know that this is not a 5-wave move to the upside, and it has just been corrective. So I'm keeping an eye on it. If we do start to roll over here and form a bigger 3-wave move to the downside, taking this low of this 3rd wave here, it's possible that this could actually be a bigger A, B, and a C. Now, the key thing here is that this would actually be looking to complete this as a bigger move here, where we would be saying that this move from the top here as a W, an X, and a Y could be completed then. Now, if we are looking at it in that way, you know, we can't rule out the idea that this could actually be a B wave or wave 2 of a bigger degree here, where this becomes 1, this becomes 2, and then we look to push to the upside for this wave 3. Now, we have come into this support zone already. We've come down to this 50%. What I'd be looking for is if we do look to push down lower, we could actually see a push into this 23,901 to this 23,536 as a golden pocket of this move to the upside. Now, the key thing within this structure here is, you know, that if we do see this as a W, as a A, B, and a C here, and we look at this as W, X, and a Y, this could look to complete it. If, however, we reverse to the upside here and we invalidate this idea of a diagonal, we can actually still look at a diagonal from further back here, where we could say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if this is the case, what this would mean is that this could either be A, B, and then C, or what we could have here is that this could be W, this could be X, and then we could see this play out to the upside as a ABC for a Y wave. So what this would mean is that we have something more along these lines like this, where actually we see this move to the downside as an A, we see a B wave to the upside, and then we see continuation to the downside in the C wave. Now, if this was the case, what I would actually be keeping an eye on here would be actually looking to come back into the top of this channel area, and our possible rejection would be between this 27,671 to this 26,333. Now, there are a couple of ways of reading this. Like I said previously, it could also be that this is just W, X, and Y here. And then what we have is this is a B wave. So we're going to go over that next. But if we do see 3 waves to the upside here, this could actually mean that what we could start doing is extending out a little bit in this Y wave, looking to be equal in time to this W wave that we had further back here. So need to keep an eye on that. We could see that actually looking to play out as a bigger Y wave within this area. Now, looking at that alternative, we were saying that the X wave could still be in play here. Because we came down to this 1382, we were talking about it in the previous video, saying, we need to be cautious because we've hit this. This is a typical zone that we expect a reaction for a regular flat pattern. Now, we are seeming to have some 5-wave structure up here. What I want to see is that if they do form a 5-wave move here, whether we manage to hold this low. If we do hold that low, we could actually be looking for these higher targets here of this 27,465 as a 1-to-1 of the A wave, or alternatively coming back up here into some of these higher areas. So this 29,094, 28,472, 28,087. These would all be possible targets for this as a flat correction. Now, the one up here would be interesting because we have this target box here between this 29,142 to this 28,887. So I'd be interested to see how we react if price does look to push up here. Though this 1-to-1 is also interesting because it would bring us back into this channel, and then that would mean that we would just still be within this X wave over here. So this is just looking for that possibility. We can see here if we actually came up to this 1618, this would bring us right back here into this golden pocket area of this 29,160 to this 28,995. So if we are saying that we are going to be looking for that break to the upside here, what we would be looking for is something like this. So invalidation of this would come by crossing this 24,800, and what we'd be looking at is that within here we have this as 1, 2, 3, looking for this as a 4th, and looking for this 5th wave to the upside. So this target area would be this 25,955 to this 25,834. Now what we'd want to see here is a 5-wave move to the upside, looking for this to potentially complete this as an A wave. Now this could be either an A wave or a wave 1. As we discussed, we could be looking for that potential of either a 3-wave move to the upside, in which case we're looking for that possibility of that Y wave looking to continue down, or if we do get a bigger push to the upside where we actually push up towards this 1618 here at this 26,964. This could tie in with that idea of this being 1, 2, 3, looking for a 4th wave down, then a 5th wave, looking to bring us up here towards this 27,397, 379, 27,379 to this 27,123. So this would tie into that idea of this being a flat correction here, because if I overlay this this count back on here, what we can see is that possibility of that 1-to-1 is up here at this 27,465. So if we do get a little bit of extension in here, possibly this could be an area we look to target. Now the key thing within this is it's going to be whether we actually complete this 5th wave to the upside here, and then looking for that retracement. If we start to lose 25,032, it starts to become less likely that we are going to cross, that we're going to continue in an impulse, though really invalidation is only at this 24,800. Now there is one thing within this that I'm just also being mindful of, because of how deep this secondary drop is over here. So if we're looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so saying that this is completed into this high as a 3rd, this retracement here was quite a deep one. Now because it came down to that 618, what this could mean is that we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the idea would be pretty much the same here. Our invalidation for this would actually be this 25,220. Now what I'd be on the lookout for is that we have something like this as A, B, and then looking for this as a C wave. Now the zone we want to hold really would be this 25,335 as our 0.618. Now if we're looking at this as A, B, and C, 1-to-1 is currently towards this 25,311, and the 0.618 is actually here at this 25,400. 433. So if we did see price actually come back down here, looking to retest this level, I'd be on the lookout that, you know, if we are looking at a fifth wave here, we'd be looking for a smaller move to the upside. If we start to get a bigger push to the upside, where we push up into this 26,314, this could mean then that we're actually starting to extend out here, and what we would be looking for is a series of additional fifths to the upside. So then we'd be looking for this possibility of a fourth wave, not looking to cross this 25,861 before a fifth wave up, in which case this would tie us into this additional fourth and a fifth and a fourth and a fifth, which could look to push us up towards this 27k region to this 26,789. Now the key difference between this and the previous option is that the previous option was calling for a deeper retracement before looking to push to the upside, whereas this would be actually saying that we're going to just get a direct impulse to the upside here without that additional push down for that wave 2 over here. Now, once again, if we did see a move to the upside like this, we'd have that same idea that this could either be an A wave or wave 1. If we do then find support back above these levels again, what we could see is that continuation up in either a C wave or a wave 3. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this, because like I said, you know, in that bullish count that we have actually come back down into the typical support zone. So we need to just be aware that if we do start to break out in a bigger way, it is probably meaning that we're looking to start developing a bigger third wave. As we discussed in the previous videos, you know, we were talking about this possibility of this being 1-2, 1-2, and then we're looking for this lower third wave here of this 23,900. So this was all actually looking to tie in with an idea of a bigger breakdown from further back here, where we're saying what we could actually have is this is a 1 and a 2 over here, looking for this 1618 here at this 21,740. So, you know, this is going to be a key level. If we do look to break down past this zone, it would mean that this whole area here is still just big within this yellow third wave. So going to be keeping an eye on this. If we do see price start to break down in a bigger way, 21,740 is going to be a zone I'll be looking out for. As well as that, if we do look to extend out deeper here and this becomes 1-2 and this is a bigger third wave, possibly what we could actually see is a 2.618. Just because of the series of 1s and 2s within this, it would mean that it would be quite likely that we would see an extension within this third. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it as we actually get the moves come in. But at the moment, we don't have confirmation. All we have is three-wave structure. Now, what I'm looking for here is that this is 1-2, 1-2. And then within this next structure to the downside here, what we were talking about was this possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I don't like looking at this in this way because this would be very short fourth wave. So rather what I'm looking out for is that within here we have this is 1, 2. This is another 1, 2. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then now what we're looking for is a three-wave move to the upside. Now, invalidation of this comes by crossing this 26,098, and the invalidation of this as a 1-2 would actually be up here towards this 26,433. So as long as we remain below this 26,098, what we could actually see is price form just a three-wave move up here, where we actually then look to reject to the downside. Now, 25,908 is going to be quite a key level here. We do, however, have some naked points of control sitting up here towards this 26,116 to this 25,959. So if we do see price move up here, I would be keeping an eye on this, particularly if we are looking at that five-wave move. That could be a possible target where we need to move in. However, if we want to argue that this is ABC, X, ABC, what we could see is price move up one more time here towards this 25,908. Now, if I throw a fib onto this point and put it back into here, we can see that this 1-to-1 is actually here at this 25,968 area, which would tie in with coming back into this box. So we're going to go over another couple of reasons why this level is going to be important and why we could actually see some reactions off of there. If we do look to break down directly from this area, what I'd be looking for confirmation would be a 23,657 third wave. We'd want to see an impulsive move to the downside in this third, a fourth, and then a fifth. Then we'd be looking for another fourth and a fifth. Now, the key thing here is that within this count, what this would then mean is that all of this would then fall into this blue wave 3 here. So this would basically just mean that the blue wave 3 within this secondary count here would actually be much lower down here, which would be meaning that, you know, it's quite likely that we're going to see that extension towards this 2618 level. So gonna have to keep an eye on it. You know, if we do see this start to break down in a bigger way, you can see this lower fifth wave box is not far off of this 2618, so we'll have to keep an eye on it if we do start to extend out in a bigger way here. So it's going to be, you know, vital if we want to maintain that bullish aspect of seeing a push to the upside, that we get back above this 26,098 and this 26,433. Okay, so I just want to go over some levels here. So actually looking at the monthly range here, we can see that where we are is actually where this point of control is for this month, towards this 25,742. We have found support here on this value area low. And what I want to see here is, you know, if we're looking at that possibility of that push to the upside, we could see a push up one more time here for that fifth wave if we're looking at this as a 5-wave move. Or alternatively, what we want to see is price regain this, and then we could actually see that possibility of moving up towards this value area high here, which would be this 26,794. So this would be an interesting area to see how we react. Obviously, if we do move up here in 3 waves, this could tie into that idea of that bigger A, B, and a C move to the downside, as well as that, you know, if we do look to push up past this zone, what we could see is a 4th wave come into there and then a 5th wave to the upside, something like this if we're looking for that more bullish count looking to push us into the panel. As well as that, if we have a look at the weekly range that we've got here, what we are doing here is we are above this value area low, and this is what I'm saying, you know, if we see a move back down here as an ABC, as we could actually see this retest this level before looking for that continuation to the upside. Now this point of control is currently sitting towards this 25,987. I would be keeping an eye on this level. If we do see price move up here, this could be a potential zone we get a rejection. So that ties into that idea of this being a WX and a Y, as well as this being 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So need to keep an eye on that level, as well as that if we move up higher here, the value area high is currently sitting towards this 26,302. So I would be keeping an eye on those levels if we do look to push up here. Having a look at the daily CPR, what we can see here is that we are currently above these lines. Now, with these central pivot lines, when we're above them, what this means is that we do have the potential to come back up and look to challenge some of these higher lines. So the S1 line is sitting here towards this 25,973. We have the S2 at this 26,351, the S3 at this 26,922, and the S4 towards this zone here of this 27,294. As well as that, you know, if we do start to lose these central lines, what we could see is that we could see a reaction down to one of these R lines. So we have the R1 sitting here at this 25k. So this would tie into the idea of seeing something like this. We see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. We get a retracement down either into these central lines if we're looking for that bullish count and that continuation up, or alternatively into this R1 line as a deeper retracement that would look to protect these lows. However, if we're looking at that idea of that breakdown, what we could then see is the R2 line come into play, this 24,430, the R3 at this 24,000, and the R4 at this 23,463. So we'll be keeping an eye on those if we do actually see price start to break down here. Now I'm going to flip this over onto the weekly. So we can see here that we are above the R1 line again. Now what I'm looking out for is that if we do see price push back to the upside here, we do have that potential of interaction with these central lines here. Now this is at this 2670 all the way up here towards this 26,375. Now this could be a potential rejection zone. If we see price come back up into here and reject, we could actually see that continuation to the downside. So need to keep an eye on that. Obviously we do have those other support areas below us, so it is possible that even if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we see a 5th wave come up here, maybe extend out a little bit, come into this zone, come back down, look for support, and then look for that continuation. So once again, even if we have to come back down here, the R1 line at this 25,060 could offer us potential support if we do look to retest it. If we do look to break down, however, what we could see is price be gravitated towards this 24,148 or this R3 at the 23k region. As well as that, if we do see that more bullish case where we're looking to extend out directly and we actually manage to get back above these central lines, what we could see is the potential of testing out this R1 line, this S1 line here at this 27,088, the S2 at this 28,272, and the S3 here at this 29,131. So I would be keeping an eye on those levels if we do move to the upside. Now, looking at the monthly, we can see that we have actually managed to get back above this R1 line. And what I want to see is that if we continue to hold this as support, we could see price be gravitated back towards these central lines here. So this is sitting between this 27,815 to this 27,424, as well as that the idea that if we reject down directly, I would be on the lookout for a potential reaction towards this R2 line here at this 23,590, or this R3 line down here towards this 23,395. You know, if we do manage to flip these central lines, then we could potentially look to target out this S1 line here, which would be this 29,423, S2 at this 31,618, and this S3 at this 33,421. So keeping an eye on those as we move forward. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.